This Goku he was fighting now was much better than last time. So was he going to ignore the facts right in front of him? Or was he going to swallow some of that pride and accept the fact that he had a real challenge on his hands? Jiren made his decision. The Fuse Girls pushed Goku past the limit he ever imagined they could, but with greater power comes stronger opponents, and his strongest opponent had still not been defeated. A Goku vs Jiren rematch was clearly on its way, but how similar would this fight be? Goku still wasn't sure he could find a way to achieve Ultra Instinct again. He was stuck. Yes, his power had increased significantly in his battle versus Kefla, and yes, he was definitely ready to hit the subscribe button and test his power against Jiren. But he couldn't help but to feel that it still wouldn't be enough. To win, he'd have to be even quicker than instant transmission. He needed the speed of Ultra Instinct. His heart started to pound. He turned on the notifications as the memory of their first fight became very real. Maybe if he analyzed what happened, he would see what he was missing. It was important to pay attention to every detail and watch each story of your favorite animes to the end of the video like the Anifam always does. He had been forced to push his limits past anything he had done before. But his Kaioken times 20 technique still hadn't been enough. He had no choice but to use the Spirit Bomb. And when that also failed, he literally almost died. What's worse is Goku knew Jiren had been holding back. He wondered if this time he would be good enough, and if he wasn't, would he be lucky enough to survive again? The facts were hard to ignore. As much as he wanted to find a different way, Goku knew he needed to achieve Ultra Instinct again, and he still had no idea how to. But something was about to happen that would make his fears start to fade away. His fears made Goku remember why he was here in the first place. This wasn't just some random martial arts tournament. He was here to save his universe, here to save his wife and children. But how could he protect them if he couldn't beat Jiren? This thought made him start to sweat. But then he felt a soothing presence nearby. One look at Gohan, and the process to bringing Ultra Instinct back had begun. This was his son. His family was depending on him, and that sparked a flame, one that not even Jiren could put out. His confidence to tap into Ultra Instinct again reached a brand new height. He could almost feel the power start to boil within him, and suddenly, his fears were completely removed from his body. The sight of his son made him realize that he could not do this alone, and he wouldn't have to. His teammates had given him their energy for the Spirit Bomb last time. No matter how many fights it took, they would support him in any way they could, and that fact alone held a secret to achieving Ultra Instinct again. The rematch begins, and Goku realizes something strange. He feels much more in control of his body than last time, yet he still notices that at times his body starts moving on its own, dodging before his mind even realizes Jiren has thrown his fist. Could Ultra Instinct be coming back already? A hard blow to the ribs reminds him that he's not there quite yet. Goku saw his only option. If he wanted to have a chance in this battle, he'd have to power up. All of this was seeming way too familiar. History was repeating itself. Goku was once again forced to use Kaioken times 20. His body felt more threatened than ever. The first time Goku ever used Kaioken times 10, his body had had a bad reaction to it. King Kai had to explain to him that using his energy recklessly like that literally caused his mind and body to split. He couldn't even control his instant transmission, which is why Goku accidentally showed up in Bulma's bedroom when he meant to go to King Kai's. Basically, his body wouldn't listen to what his mind was telling him to do. So you should have expected something similar to happen the first time he used Kaioken times 20, which happened to be against Jiren. Now do you see why it was easier for Goku to let his body take over and move without his mind having to say anything first? Or in other words, why it was easier for him to achieve Ultra Instinct? Using his energy recklessly had once again forced a split between mind and body that Goku had no control over. And now that he had to reach Ultra Instinct again to have any chance in his rematch versus Jiren, this became his biggest obstacle. You've seen Goku use Kaioken times 10 after the first time against Hit, but no bad reactions were caused, because his body got used to the reckless way this technique used his energy. Once again, you should expect the same from Kaioken times 20. Using it now that he's been exposed to it before, his mind and body will not be forced to split, making Ultra Instinct much harder to achieve. Or does it? Jiren secretly noticed a huge change in Goku, and it forced him to make a choice. This Goku he was fighting now was much better than last time. So was he going to ignore the facts right in front of him? Or was he going to swallow some of that pride and accept the fact that he had a real challenge on his hands? Jiren made his decision. It was time to step it up. Goku wasn't ready for what was coming. As Jiren's full strength started to reveal itself, the realization of Goku Goku's defeat slowly started creeping in. With each attack Jiren used, the ability to avoid the blow got harder. Goku's Ultra Instinct tendencies seemed to be disappearing, but in reality, Jiren was simply just too strong to handle. He was overcoming all of Goku's power. A mix started to form between two of Goku's biggest power triggers, the danger Jiren was posing to his life, and the protection that he wanted to provide to his son. As these triggers intertwined in Goku's soul, the power inside him started to swell, and strangely, it felt similar to gathering energy for a spirit bomb. But regardless, it seemed his plan was working. Fighting Kefla had trained him just enough to tap into something he had achieved in his first fight with Jiren, and it wasn't Ultra Instinct. When he had almost died in the spirit bomb, his body snapped, and a very weak new form broke through to save his life. The absorption of the spirit bomb's energy served as a battery to replenish Goku's depleted body. Remember what the spirit bomb really is. It's nothing more than the energies of anyone willing to give some away, combined all together. So when Goku absorbed some of the spirit bomb's energy, he was absorbing the energies of those he cared about the most. But all that energy had been too much to handle, and it rapidly leaked out of him as heat. However, his body had taken advantage of the forced separation between body and mind that using Kaioken times 20 for the first time had caused. And with the training he had been doing for this exact type of separation before the tournament started, Goku was given the chance to experience Ultra Instinct for a few moments. But now, things had changed. His energy wasn't depleted at all this time, and his body was now able to control the reckless use of energy that Kaioken times 20 caused. Add to that the training he got through his fight with Kefla, and Goku was on his way to being able to split his mind and body on purpose. The power that had broken through last time to save his life was now getting even stronger. It grew more and more and more until it broke. Jiren stopped. The result was no longer a weak form. A brand new fighter appeared before him. This was Limit Breaker Goku, but his new form isn't what stopped Jiren mid-swing. The power of Goku's full Limit Breaker form allowed him to gain even more control over his ki. Had he accomplished control of mind from body separation? This control, combined with the experience of using Ultra Instinct once before, Goku was now able to look within himself and find that power again. Now, he had only one problem to deal with. The Spirit Bomb had given him enough energy to use Ultra Instinct, and that was a lot of energy. But last time he had been depleted of energy, and this time, his new form was providing him with almost enough energy to access it again. Remember that not too long ago, Goku had started to feel something similar to gathering energy for a Spirit Bomb. Well now, that feeling was intensified. Much like in their first fight, rocks started to lift and began to gravitate towards Goku. You could see the energy from around the fighting stage begin to swirl around him. Both last time and now, Goku was absorbing energy from the environment around him. He finally realized the secret. By absorbing the energies around him, he also took in his loved ones' energies as well. His friends were once again providing him with the rest of the energy he was lacking. Jiren was in shock. It was as if he saw two different fighters standing before him in only one body. Jiren was seeing it all over again, but this time it was much stronger than before. This was not just Limit Breaker Goku. Ultra Instinct Goku was also standing there. The unachievable had successfully been achieved again. But how had Goku achieved such an ability? The danger of fighting Jiren hadn't been enough last time, so what was the difference? There was a huge gap in this story that you probably didn't notice. What events forced Goku to push past his limits so far that he could now tap into Ultra Instinct with 100% purpose? He could only thank them as he remembered their effort. Their attacks had already started to sink, but now it was on a whole new level, and this level had proven itself worthy of a stronger opponent. Not even the enhanced power of Goku's Super Saiyan Blue was enough to handle Kefla now.